During Bob's legendary career, he's rubbed elbows with every celebrity you can imagine, while Anderson was exposed to many household names in his literal household. So these two are perfect to play the Clubhouse classic game, Have You Met Them? Okay, guys, let me know if you've met any of the following icons, and if you have, tell me something about them, starting with Steve Jobs. Either of you met Steve Jobs? You have. And what was he like?
He was nice to me, a little caustic, but I'm told that he was
Little caustic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was caustic with most everybody. Apparently, he was on the Asperger's scale a little bit.
Right.
Wow.
Have either of you met or seen a ghost? You have. Where, Bob?
When my old pal John Barlow and I used to hang in the what we called the Finn place, which was just a little log cabin, sort of a couple of miles down a rutted road from the main ranch house where we were ranching.
Yeah.
And the cabin was built in the early part of the last century by a guy who was Finnish, and he was a settler there, and the ranch sort of swallowed that up after he checked out. He checked out when his son left home in his late teens and said he was coming back on his 21st birthday to kill his dad.
Wow.
And
nice to announce that kind of thing in advance.
Yeah, yeah.
so a few days before that, the guy hung himself in there, and so it was good and goddamn haunted. And
Wow.
and-
My house is supposed to be haunted. My house is on the haunted house tours in New York. Like every
wow.
Friday. Yeah.
Oh, how fun for you.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yes, I really enjoy it.
Either of you met Jimi Hendrix? You. What was he like?
he was a sweet guy.
Sweet guy. Either of you met Charlie Chaplin? You. What was he like?
I was 5, so
Okay.
I got to shake his hand. He came back from exile in Switzerland. My parents threw him their first party, and it was him and his wife Una, and they prepared me by watching all his old movies.
Right.
And I expected like the little tramp to walk in with a cane,
Right.
and he was this man probably in his 80s.
Right.
And I was dressed in this little like Spanish I don't know what I was wearing. I wore costumes a lot as a
Yes, you
kid.
did, and you still do. Have either of you met a Spice Girl? Bob Weir, have you met a Spice Girl?
Yeah, I have not had that.
I don't believe I have either.
Okay. Have either of you met a dictator?
Yes.
Who?
Well, I would be.
Would be.
Yeah, Donald Trump introduced my band at the
At the Beacon or
Theater, yeah.
Yes. I introduced your band at City Field this year.
Right.
It was one of the highlights of my life. Yes. Would-be dictator. Either of you met Janis Joplin? Yes.
Wow.
What was she like?
She was one hell of a girl. She and my old pal Pigpen
Yes.
were an item, I think, is how you.
Wow,
refer
I
to
didn't
that.
know that.
And we lived in an old Boy Scout or Scouts camp in Lagunitas in California one summer, and the walls between the rooms were there were bunk beds in the rooms.
Okay.
And the walls between the rooms were this
Thin.
thin plywood. It wasn't plywood. I think it was. Well, it had to have been plywood, but it was cardboard thin.
So you heard what was going on with Pigpen and
So
Janis.
I was, it was all night long.
Daddy, daddy, daddy. Daddy, daddy, daddy.
But
Yes.
she was, you know, that the business at the end of me and Bobby McGee, that song.
Yeah.
La da 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 da. She and I learned that song at the same time on this train trip we took across Canada, and we were singing it back and forth to each other so we could get it down, and we got to the end, and I wasn't done. You know, we'd run out of words. We kind of knew the words, but I wanted to keep it going, so I just kept playing, and she was playing guitar too, and so she was playing along with me, and I just started la da da la da 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 la da da hey la da, and she picked that up, and so I guess I'm where that end part came from.
Wow, that's amazing.
So cool.
Have you ever met a mystical being while high? Greg's raising his hand. All right, there you go. Thanks for watching. Watch more clips here and subscribe to our channel here. See ya.